Alright, well, here it is. Radiant Silvergun. It was all leading up to this, baby. So, I like to consider Radiant Silvergun a Saturn God. Now, what that means is you need 3 things to be a Saturn God. Number 1. What's number 1? Number 1 is, can it defend the Saturn? And what I mean by that is, when people like to make the argument as far as like Super Nintendo or other consoles go, like, oh, the Super Nintendo's great because it's got Super Metroid, it's got R-Type 3, it's got Chrono Trigger, and for the Saturn you can be like, well, the Saturn's great because it's got Radiant Silvergun, it's got Batugan, it's got Dragon Force. Those are Saturn gods because they can defend the Saturn. And the second requirement is it needs a cult following. So like any religious figure, it's got to have its cult. And number 3, as simple as it sounds, is it a good game or amazing game? I guess you could say that. That's a better way to put it. And it is. That's all you need right there. When, you know, not every game, I would say like 2% reaches that requirement. So, yeah. If you're not into shoot 'em ups, this game really isn't a shoot 'em up. Well, it is and it isn't. It's a little more critical thinking than just shooting random shit everywhere, which you still can do, which I still do, because people are like, oh, you gotta chain them up, and I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to fucking survive. Yeah, so you probably already heard everything about this game. I really can't tell you anything new if that's what you're looking for. I'm overall just going to talk about the game and how amazing it is. So yeah, start the show. When a game makes you think about what action is best to handle a situation, given the opportunity to have multiple answers, well, that, my friends, that's a good game. Your different options is that your ship starts with 7 weapons. By pressing A, this releases the Vulcan shot. This is a straightforward shot, but it's pretty strong. Now by pressing B, this shoots out your homing shot. It's a weak shot, but it locks onto enemies, so when you're stuck in a corner, it's best. Or when you're just trying to evade and shoot at the same time, so you're kind of more just concentrating on evading while holding down the B button. By pressing C, this unleashes your spread shot, which is the second strongest gun in the game. I like using this gun the most, it's fun. Those blue little circles reminded me of something I saw as a kid.
I feel like I could just take the whole world and hold it in my hands, just like a ripe little blueberry. I feel like I could, it's almost like I got the whole...
Alright, moving on. By pressing X, this unleashes your spread lock-on shots. It's kind of a weaker version of the spread shot, but it's a lock-on system. It's really useful when the enemy is just cluttered around you and just has multiple weak spots to hit. And that's another thing in Radiant Silvergun, is these bosses have multiple sections that you can destroy on them that give you extra points. So you want to kind of destroy all the parts before you kill the main part of the boss that destroys them.
Okay, rack 'em up, rack 'em up, rack 'em up, rack 'em up.
By pressing Y, this unleashes the back wide shot. This shot does become handy in some parts of the game, especially in narrow areas. By pressing Z, this is your homing plasma. To me, the best thing about the homing plasma is it can shoot through walls. That's freaking awesome. And it hits 2 targets at once, so what's not to like? By pressing R, oh yeah, this unleashes your sword. This sword is the strongest weapon in the game and can be used to absorb these pink bullets. Once enough pink bullets have been absorbed, this meter here, you can use its specialty, which is the hyper sword, and just...
He's never been hit by anybody. Like, I'm gonna hit him, and all I gotta do is hit him. And once I hit him, it's gonna change the whole aspect of the fight, his game, and everything that night. And I'm gonna come out victorious, first round knockout.
Leap of victory!
Now in the beginning I said you were giving them multiple choices because of the weapons. Now when you start combining multiple choices in different scenarios, it's amazing. Like here, check this scene out. I'm constantly switching between the Vulcan, the sword, the spread to the homing. It just varies, especially with this boss, because you gotta dodge, you gotta shoot, you gotta keep moving, you gotta cut the pink bullets, you gotta shoot it as much as you can in its face. It's just all around just strategizing the best multiple outcome that you can, I guess. I don't know if that was the right way to say it, but it just comes down to playstyle, and you can adjust it to whatever you want. This next boss forces me here to switch between the spread and the homing. It's just really intense, because you gotta just constantly be on the lookout on what gun to use, and then I have to use the back door here, and then go back to the homing, because I'm out of range. It's just awesome. Not too many shmups make you think like that, and so that's why I said it's not really a shoot 'em up, it's more of a critical thinking type game. At least to me it is. So yeah, the music's pretty amazing. Really amazing. The game almost plays like a boss rush mode type thing, because it's just boss after boss after boss, and it's not a bad thing, it's a really good thing. I don't understand the whole beatitude for gains thing, that's just weird. Gains? What am I gaining? Let's get some gains, bro. Yo, true story though, I'll make gains for that green haired trope there. I thought Thunder Force had the best warning approach, and I think it still does, but this might be the second best warning approach. It's not as havoc as the Thunder Force 5 warning, but it's still pretty intense. Alright, the storyline kind of goes like this. There's this thing called the Stone Like, which is like this object. Anyways, long story short, it destroys all of mankind, and the people on the Tetra run out of supplies, so they have to go down to Earth. If I was on the Tetra, I would be like, no way, screw that. Let's just recreate humanity in this ship, we'll find a new planet, and boom, I got dudes on the hair with the green, or the chick with the green hair. Boom, problem solved, let's go. I'm just saying, you know, I'd rock the whole fucking ship for her. Yeah, I know, right? Weird. Now, for those of you that are going to complain about me not reviewing everything, I'm not even reviewing the game, I'm just talking about it. I have to constantly remind people about this. I'm not here to review, I'm not here to read off the wiki page to you, I'm not here to do any of that. I'm just here to talk about this game, because I like playing these games and I want to talk about them the way I want to express it. So overall, I don't really care what kind of gamer you are, I think you should play this game. Because even if you're not a shmup, a racing car driver, RPG person, sports fanatic, I think you should give this game a try. Just try it. Because it's not a regular game. It's kind of like a fun math test. And I know that sounds crazy. Math, fun, that shit don't work out. but I'm telling you, you're gonna have fun using all 7 weapons and figuring out which thing works the best, or screw it, just use whatever the hell you want. And the way you play is different from the way other people play and how they go about each stage and things like that. So if you're new, sub, drop a like, it helps out. Pick this game up, it's awesome, I love it. Hopefully you will too. Peace.